Everyone talks about balance, work life balance, training family balance. But here's the truth no one wants to say out loud: balance isn't real, at least not the way that we've been sold. Some seasons demand more from your body, some seasons demand more from your family, and some seasons demand everything you've got. In today's episode, I'm going to be breaking down what balance actually looks like for a hybrid athlete dad and why chasing perfect balance might be the very thing holding you back. Welcome back to the Hybrid Athlete Dad podcast. Super excited to have you tune into today's episode where I'm going to be talking about the hard truth about balance. Now, before I get into today's episode, I like to go over anything that's going on in my life when it comes to fitness, when it comes to nutrition, just anything that I think that you may find interesting. Kicking off today's show, finally got a new pair of gym shoes. I bought a pair of Nobles probably about over 4 years. I don't know if it had been 5 years, but I think about 4.5 years I'd had those shoes. They were looking a little worn down. I mean, I only wear them in the gym. I don't wear them out or anything, just to the gym, to home and off. So they weren't in terrible condition, but they were starting to not be the most comfortable shoe to wear anymore after about 4.5 years. I'm wearing them, so ordered a new pair. So super excited to try those out in the gym, just to have a new gym shoe. Should be nice. If you are looking for a nice pair of gym shoes, I do recommend checking out Noble. I typically wear them when I'm in the gym, and then when I'm running, I gravitate towards Hoka. So again, super excited to try that out. I'm probably going to regret not buying them about 2 years ago. I don't think you should go 4.5 years with the same gym shoe, but it is better late than never. Also super pumped last Thursday at the gym, was able to finally hit a 400-pound deadlift. The way that it went is I did 375 for 4, 375 for 3 or 4, or 375 for 3. So I did 2 sets of that. I think it was 375 for 3. And then I did 385 for 2. And then I did 400 for 1. So just super excited about that. I had done a 400-pound deadlift a few months prior, but I was using the squat rack platform where they have the little base at the bottom on either side. So the barbell was about a few inches off the ground, 3 or 4 inches off the ground. So this was firmly from the ground and bringing it up. So that was just a great goal, being able to accomplish that on my end. And then from here, it's just, okay, I hit the 400-pound deadlift. What's up next? Let's just keep going. Let's see how far I can push this thing. So excited about that. And then it was nice after doing that deadlift, was able to go out and run. And we're talking January in upstate New York, so it's pretty cold this time of year, but it happened to be an unseasonably warm day. I think it was like mid 40s, so I was able to go out and get a run in just the shorts and a t-shirt. I thought I had made a mistake when I first started running, where my hands were super cold, but eventually after about a mile and a half or so, became warm and just felt like a great run. Anytime this time of year where you can run in shorts and a t-shirt, that's phenomenal. Even today, I was able to get an 8-mile run in just running in shorts, t-shirt, and then I had a quarter zip on as well. I try to appreciate it because then I can look at the end of the week and see like might be Friday this week where the high is going to be 7 degrees. So I try to enjoy the warm days a little bit, or I say warm, but at least warm relative to where I am in New York. But yeah, it felt great doing that 400-pound deadlift. That was nice getting that goal on. And deadlifts, they're obviously mentally tough going in and doing them, but man, do I feel great once I do get them up, once I do hit that goal. So that was on Thursday. And then Thursday night, I typically volunteer for our local volunteer ambulance service. Right now I'm with just what's called an attendant. So I go out on the calls, I help out the EMT, assist, get them what they need. Just basically help them out the best that I can. Just want to give back to my community. I happen to be on this Thursday, I was just tired. Our daughter had been up a few nights prior. Just one night she was up. We brought her into our bed, and then she was up from like, I think this was Monday night into Tuesday. She was up for about 2 hours. She's had a hard time sleeping. I think she was going through a little bit of a sleep regression. And then the following night, she woke up. We brought her into our bed, and she went to sleep, but she likes to sleep horizontal. So even though having a king bed, it's still hard to get a really good quality sleep when she's in there. But honestly, if she's in her room and she's crying out for us, I'm not going to just leave her in there. So bring her in. And so just 2 nights of sleep, not that great. And then I obviously went out and did this 400-pound deadlift, did this nice run. Thursday night comes, so now I'm on call. Nothing's coming in. 9:30. Okay, about to shut out the light. Turn it out for the night. Call comes in, and end up going out to this particular call from 9:30. Get back about 12:15 in the morning. So I was out quite a bit, and a good chunk of it is sometimes when you're bringing a patient to the hospitals, if it's not that serious, or if it's not more like life or death, they need to be seen right away, then you have to wait for a bed to open up in the ER, which is exactly what happened. So I had to wait around for an hour. So got back at 12:15, got back into bed, and about 12:30, just about to fall asleep again, another call comes in. It gets wow. All right, let me get back up, get dressed, get to the ambulance station, and once I get to the ambulance station, get in the ambulance, find out the call has been canceled. This particular individual, they didn't need help. It's like, okay, let me go back home. By the time I get wound down again, everything's good. It's 1:15. So I get to bed 1:15 in the morning. Alarm goes off 4:50. Now I have a choice to make. Do I want to get more sleep, or do I want to get my workout in? And I really enjoy my Friday workouts where I'm going to the gym. And on Fridays, I do a lot of foam rolling, a lot of extra stretching. I keep my workouts a little bit lighter and in response of just trying to take more time to stretch while I'm at the gym. So I'm like, okay, I will get up. I'll get this workout in. So got up, got my workout in, came home. Now it's 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. I should say, 8 a.m. And now it's time to run. Do I want to run, or do I want to get an hour nap in before work? Screw it, let's run. So go out, do the 5 miles, and just come back just absolutely exhausted. I think that when I was looking at my Garmin, it was like under 3.5 hours of sleep. Obviously, don't recommend that. And just felt it's funny. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he's a volunteer firefighter, and he's had days where similar. He's gone out on fire calls at say 9 o'clock. He's out all night. By the time he gets back home, he hops in the shower, gets out of the shower, eats breakfast, then goes to work, so no sleep at all. And even though I got 3.5 hours of sleep, he put it perfectly where he says you just feel numb. That's the best way to describe it. And I made sure I was like, okay, if I'm obviously having to work today, I got to get my most important tasks done by about 2-3 o'clock, because I know after 3 o'clock, I'm just not going to be that effective. I still want to be able to work and finish the day off. But if there's anything that's very intense or I need to think about a lot, I need to get done a little bit earlier in the day. So dealt with that on Thursday night. And it's interesting because I've had calls out on Thursday nights, but I haven't had this particular one, or in the past I would sleep in, but it's one night. Yeah, it sucks and I'm exhausted. And actually, what I think what ended up helping me is we go out with our in-laws to dinner on Fridays, and we went over a little bit early, and I got on their couch and I just sat down about a little after like 5:15, and just I was taking like a 10-15 minute nap on their couch, just sitting up. So that felt great. That was the first nap of the day, and I think that helped me get through the rest of the day and dinner. I can tell you what, that sleep on Friday night and a Saturday was like I was like a rock. I couldn't no, nothing was getting me out of bed on Thursday night, and luckily actually our on Friday night, and I think again our daughter she happened to get up in the middle of the night again. She was going through this sleep regression, as I mentioned before, but she went right to sleep. I think she slept more vertical this time, which was good. If she slept horizontal, I didn't feel her as much, and then so yeah, that's what's been going on when running and lifting and even nutrition wise, something I've been missing out on. And if you haven't had it, I highly recommend it. But just been eating salmon about one night a week, and I just go to the local grocery store. They have this like blackened Cajun rub salmon. Oh God, is it delicious? It's 5 ounces of salmon. Just throw it in the oven for 450 for 12 minutes, like I had last night for dinner. Rice, broccoli. I prefer jasmine rice, and gosh, does it taste good? So highly recommend trying salmon if you're looking for a fish. I find that I sleep better when I have salmon, or more fish, I should say, whether that's salmon, whether that's swordfish, whatever that may be. High quality fish is always a nice meal to have. Now, enough about me and what's going on in my life, and more about today's episode, which again is the hard truth about balance. It's impossible to give 100% effort everywhere, every day. The cost that you have is that chasing balance is going to create this constant guilt that something will always feel off. And that's just going to be the reality. And I want you to understand that that's okay. There's going to be seasons in your life where it's going to be more demanding. Our wife is pregnant with our next daughter, 2.5 months. I know that that season of life is going to be more demanding than what it is right now. I know the season that I'm in right now is less demanding than what it's going to be in a few months. So I'm just trying to take it and balance it all in. And I want to give 100% to my family. I want to give 100% to myself when it comes to working out, lifting, running 100% to my job, my income, my potential. But what's the point where I'm going to get that burnout? Where's the point where I feel terrible because I'm not spending as much time with my family because I'm prioritizing my running and lifting and gym and working, or if I'm not prioritizing my work and I'm prioritizing running and lifting? How do I find this balance between all three of them where I can reach my highest potential in my work? I can be the best father and husband. I can be the best runner and overall fitness that I can have. It's just it's always trying to find what it is, and I don't know if balance is the right word because there's always going to be these ebbs and flows. I think it's not so much about balance as it matters more about the seasons of life. And you can look at life as more of these macro cycles. So I don't want to tell you microcycles, macro cycles where there are more extended periods of time. So when I'm training for a marathon, that's a high training season. Versus family heavy seasons, which is going to be when our daughter is born in the first couple of months. And the trade off that you have is that short term imbalance is going to create that long term stability. So, whether you're in the newborn stage, whether you're in race prep, whether you're in a work sprint, there's always going to be these seasons. Just like the 4 seasons, you get your winter, you get your spring, you get your summer, you get your fall. And I look at it as my own life. Sometimes everything feels like it's going right. I'm in the summer season, crushing it at my job, being the best father that I can be, running and lifting going great. I'm going up every single week with progressive overload. Our runs are getting faster. Then you get the winter. Maybe I made a mistake in my job. Maybe I feel as though I'm not showing up as much as I could be. Maybe I'm distracted. Maybe my lifts aren't as good as they want to, or I'm not feeling as motivated to be in the gym. And I wouldn't call it balance. Is it's again, it's more these seasons. And I know, like, for every winter season that I have, there's going to be a summer season. Is it going to happen today? Maybe not. Tomorrow? Maybe. But I know it's going to happen at some point, and I just have to get through this particular season of life. What works more than balance is, what are your priorities? What matters the most to you right now? I want you to kill an all or nothing mindset, because what I don't want you to do is burn yourself out, because I've been there. I've been burning the candle at both ends, where I just go hard and push and push and push and push, and then eventually it breaks. And I don't want you to get to that place. I want you to figure out, okay, what are your priorities in your life? For me, the main priorities, my life, doing good at my job, being there for my wife and daughter, making sure that I'm crushing it when it comes to running and lifting. Now, if I was looking at a different season of life, if I was training for a marathon, maybe I have to spend more time doing that and spend a little bit less time with my family. But that's not the season of life of where I want to be in right now. I want to make sure that I'm home with my daughter when she gets up in the morning, home, being able to be done with my job by the time she gets home from daycare for the day. I want to make sure that on the weekends they're freed up so I can spend more time with her, especially when she's about to turn 2 years, 7 months soon. So a little over 2.5. And this is precious time that I get to spend with her. Like, right now, she looks at me like I'm her whole world. And I know eventually one day that's going to change, and I don't want that day to come. So I want to soak it up as much as I can right now by spending that time with her. Now, a key aspect of balance is that role of communication. When I was thinking about running this marathon to my wife, I had to tell her this is what's going to be happening. This is the demanding season that I'm going to be experiencing, because when I'm going off and when I do my long runs on Saturdays and I'm going off and doing 14, 16, 18, 20-mile runs, I don't care who you are. I'm exhausted. I come home, I'm beat down, I'm worn down. It's hard. It's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. I know it sounds cliche. Going off and training for a marathon, it's not easy. It's going to demand a lot of you. And knowing that when I get back from these runs, it might take me a few hours to get back to my full self, because I don't want to have that resentment, because resentment comes when the expectations aren't alive. My wife, if she expects me to go off and do a 20-mile run and come home and take care of our daughter immediately, that's going to be hard, because I'm going to have brain fog. I'm going to be sore. I'm going to be tired. And not that I don't want to help out, but when you often you run 20 miles, it's going to take you a little bit while to get back to the level of energy and where you were prior. So I would say the fix comes with just doing weekly check-ins instead of just doing this daily balance chasing. I want you to redefine success. Win the week, not the day. Not every day is going to be perfect, but over the course of 7 days, you have 7 different opportunities, have more good days than you do bad days. Now, the why behind everything I do is showing my daughter what commitment and discipline looks like. I'm going to the gym every day. I'm running I want to say every day, Monday through Friday, going to the gym, Monday through Friday, running, eating healthy, even eating healthy on the weekends, and taking care of my body. And I want to understand that consistency is more valuable than perfect balance, because no matter how much you want to have this perfect balance, it's just going to be impossible, because balance is an adjustment, not a destination. And I want you to understand that if you feel stretched, you aren't failing, you're building. Now, I hope you enjoyed today's episode on the hard truth about balance, and I hope you tune to next week's episode where I discuss the most underrated fitness habit for dads.